In May, we traveled to Cresson Sanitorium in prison. Opened in 1918 as a state run tuberculosis sanatorium on land donated to the state of Pennsylvania by Andrew Carnegie. It was a state of the art facility at the time and was completely self contained. Later, in the arrival of antibiotics, the facility was converted into the Frick State Hospital, treating the mentally handicapped. Finally, in 1987, it was converted into SCI Crescent, a medium security prison that would eventually close in 2013. Today, the location sits basically abandoned. It is home to a seasonal haunted attraction, but most of the buildings are starting to show the years of abandonment. The layers of history in this location, along with its usage, has created very layered activity. Corey and I got to experience things from all ends of the spectrum that night. We began the night in the Maple Building, the one shown in the picture. My footage for this video is going to be a combination of my handheld camera and my body cam. This was a public investigation, so we did encounter other investigators that night. But for most of the night, Corey and I didn't encounter many other living guests. That's fucking lawn gremlins. Alright, we may have to deal with some wind.
Somebody hit me?
Only one way to find out. Yes. Let's go up. I heard it again. Yeah, just I got a little worried. I thought I smelled skunk. You hear that again? You hear that again? Corey and I head to the basement, where we are met with heavy footsteps moving away from us. None of our equipment caught the initial heavy footsteps, unfortunately, but watch along for what I later get on audio and what we find on the ground. What's that?
Black little bottom things.
Oh yeah, from when they do airsoft. Hello? No. Hello? There's nobody down here.
You just heard that, right?
Yeah. Like those were heavy.
Whoa, whoa. Hello? How's behind us?
That was
That was loud.
that was heavy footsteps.
Heavy. Real heavy.
That is literally some of the heaviest footsteps I have ever heard. Somebody's coming down the stairs, though. But that is not what you or I heard earlier.
No. I think like it came towards and then turned away, like turned off, You know what I mean? And it was right here.
Well, it sounded like it walked all the way down through here.
Well, I'm telling you, there's something down here where I can feel it. What is this, the tunnel?
No, this is just the ground floor of a maple building. Where were we? About here?
We were past the gate. We were standing right at the entrance. Cause it sounded like it came towards us, and then it was that way.
Corey. Neither one of those is our footprints.
You sure?
Those are work boots. It was at this point I took notice of unfamiliar boot prints on the ground. In the picture I have labeled mine, Corey's, and the unknown boot prints. I can't explain where they came from, but I do know two things. I know for a fact that we were the first people into the basement that night, and that those footprints were not made by us. Here's an additional clip where I find more, but leading into the infamous Cresson tunnels. Fucking there's those boot prints again.
Yeah, no.
I don't know if my camera's gonna pick them up. That's the tunnel. That's the tunnel. Whatever we heard, we saw the footprints. It went forward and came back and then came down this hallway.
Don't do that.
I heard something move. Sorry. I'm not going up in there.
Yeah, we're not going up in there. Our flashlight's not bright enough for that.
We left Maple and moved on to Building 5, which is shown in the picture. It was here that I started to get some equipment malfunction with my handheld camera. Well, in this building, all of my handheld audio is corrupt, and you can't even listen to it. So all of the following footage and evidence is strictly from my body cam. Just keeps going. It just keeps going. This is an old kitchen. It's an old kitchen. Did you hear that? You didn't hear that?
No. That one I didn't. What was that?
I heard a man's voice say, hey.
It's okay, because it's in the grill.
Did you hear that? You didn't hear that?
No. That one I didn't. What was that?
I heard a man's voice say, hey. I can still smell the grease in here. It's about as far down as it goes. No, I mean going this direction.
We move into Building A after taking a short break. It is a small building to the right hand side of the property. It was used as housing and a women's cell block over time.
Oh, I remember this. I heard that. I heard that. What? No. Oh, it's the elevator. Well, that's where we heard the noise.
Hello? Can you make that noise again?
That was loud. Up the stairs. That was loud.
Yeah.
Up the stairs. What was that? Was that a scream? What the fuck was that?
This is where they kept going back and forth, remember?
No, that was on the second floor.
Oh, was it?
And I'm convinced that was the wind.
That scream?
No, the back and forth when we were here the last time.
Crazy. I am got that chill. Crazy.
Corey and I spent the rest of our time basically wandering from building to building. Being that it was a public investigation, if we saw lights or movement in one location, we went the opposite way. The wind really started picking up after midnight, and most of my footage was really off due to wind contamination. These final 3 clips are the best of what I could get out of my audio and video. One of the clips is one of the best captures I have ever gotten to date. First, in the high security block, I capture something tugging or moving one of Corey's braids.
Okay, now you want to start playing?
I didn't hear anything.
No, something touched my head. Okay, now you want to start playing?
I didn't hear anything.
No, something touched my head.
The second clip is from the chapel. In all the places that I have investigated, the chapel at Cresson is one of the only spots that I am so uncomfortable in that I feel the need to leave. This EVP is the first that lets me know it was time to bring the night to a close.
I don't like it in here.
Huh?
I don't like it in here.
Why? You know, that's supposed to be a safe space.
We went for one last stop in the Maple basement. We ventured into the tunnels, but I couldn't determine if anything I captured was wind or not, so I didn't include it. Though, as we head up the stairs after agreeing to call it a night, one final EVP was our parting gift.
Guess I should have.